And we're live. Greetings, friends. Happy Monday. Mr. Maddie, welcome. Made it just in time. Glad you're here, friend. Appreciate you. How is everyone tonight? I hope you had a good start to the week. And I hope you have a great week. It's technically the weekend for me. We work Friday through Monday as far as these live streams go, even though I'm still working on various projects for you guys. O-Dog, greetings, friend. Glad you are here. Sadie says hi. Say hi to O-Dog. I was actually working on Bad Arthur. I think it's going to be a Bad Honor free roam, not a Bad Honor playthrough. And I was working on the rat hat. So I was looking for rats, basically. I wasn't really bad honoring things. Miko, greetings. Miko says, hello, Super Antonio and everyone. Hello to you. We are doing part 2 of Red Dead Redemption 1. Hanging around with Bonnie, and we'll do some missions for the Marshal and some stranger events, I believe. And I also think we get the lasso in this playthrough. Anyways, happy you are all here. O-Dog says busy. Yeah, I was just working on I was just taking a break from Red Dead 1 and fooling around in Red Dead 2, which I love so much more. Mr. Maddie says, rats are easy to find. Just go to camp and you'll see them in a big white hat. Yes, indeed. Best places for rats are Bulger Glade, Limpany, Fort Brennan, and the rat catching event in Saint Denis, but you can only do that once. You need 10 of them. You need 10 perfect rats. So, the buck antler trinket helps a lot for that. Bulger Glade is surprisingly good for all things rodents. You can get badgers there, skunks, rats, chipmunks.
No, I do understand.
Yeah, Bulger Glade is surprisingly effective. At any rate, I really like the relationship between John and Bonnie, or rather how Bonnie treats John. It's very charming. I understand that he's with Abigail, but it's nice to flirt, I guess. Besides, Abigail's in jail right now.
That's true, especially when it comes to money. And you know, even now, after all his labors, my father's debts are still terrible.
O-Dog, I hope you are well. I hope you get to hang out with Serena this week. Sadie is currently under the desk. She's got her stick.
Let's just say he was blinded in a bar fight south of Chicago.
It was a rainy day, so we couldn't really go out. She likes the rain, but she had just had a bath, and I didn't want her to get dirty again. So we just stayed inside. We just hung out around here. Played a game I call Rainy Day Chase, where I chase her and she chases me. And it's astonishingly good cardio for me, just zigzagging back and forth. Mr. Maddie says, I had a strange thought. Since you can get the frozen man's hat on Mount Hagen, what if instead it was a Napoleonic war soldier with a Napoleon type hat? That would be funny. Yeah, it would. But he's a Spanish conquistador a long way from home. I'm sure he came up from Mexico. You could probably find a Napoleonic war hat in Saint Denis. Definitely. There is the tri-cornered pirate hat. That's from approximately the same time period, give or take 50 years or so.
Point me in the right direction.
Yeah, still working on the look of Bad Arthur. And so far, all I have is black shirt, well, black outfit, and the rat hat. But I need to figure out hair, beard, all that. It's fun though. It's a fun project.
It's about time a budding farmer such as yourself
I was working on it pretty much up to this live stream. I stopped like 10 minutes ago and finally turned off the PS4.
It must have been hard for you.
Mr. Maddie says closest is probably the Civil War Hardy hat or the pirate hat. Yeah,
You had a wife and child.
I like the pirate hat, but it's just not cowboy. It's not Western.
You're lucky to have a man like you.
I ain't so sure about that, but thank you.
So we can't use it.
Come on.
Now where is Bonnie taking us?
You should learn to ride before you learn to herd.
Good to see you, Mr. Carlo.
I believe we're just doing a tour of the ranch. No, actually, we're gonna herd. Can't herd, can't swim. This did not go well. Also note, McFarland Ranch has their own flag. I love that flag. It has the brand and it's kind of Texas inspired. Emerald Ranch should have a flag. Kind of like having a coat of arms for the property. And these cows were pretty much impossible to herd
Come on.
because of the horse controls. Can you hear Sadie? She's chewing on her antler now. Miko says, the mission that proves that John can herd after all. Well, he can kinda herd. I mean, he herds as best as he can.
Now we need to move this
He's learned a thing or two.
far pasture for grazing.
Mr. Maddie says, maybe someone will make that a mod. Yeah, I'm sure.
Keep them nice and tight.
I think to continue our conversation from last night about CGI and special effects being downgraded, it's because they're so expensive and studios are cutting corners. So you're not getting like Lord of the Rings or like Avengers quality CGI anymore because it's just too expensive.
You're not bad with the herd.
So I'm
Guess you might
pretty
be
sure,
true
I'm pretty
Carlo,
certain
Marston. Either that or
this
you were a cow in a past life.
budget conscious cutting
I'll see you later.
trend will continue, will spill over into video games. And that's why I think if we ever do get a Red Dead 3, it will be a downgrade from Red Dead 2. And I honestly think that GTA 6 will be a downgrade, no matter what the trailer looks like. But we shall wait and see. I'm happy to be proved wrong. Also, I'm thinking after we finish Red Dead 1 and concurrently while we work on a Bad Honor live stream, Bad Honor free roam live stream, we might do a LA Noire live commentary. Speaking of old games, I think that would be fun. Wild horses,
Well, hello, Mr. Marston.
tamed passions.
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
See, John is welcomed in. He's got access to the house. He gets to meet the dad,
Drew McFarlane.
who is
meet you, Mr. Marston?
He's a sweetheart, but he's a very scary-looking prospective girlfriend dad.
My daughter informs me that
He's a scary.
you're here on
He'd be a
some
very scary
secret mission.
and protective
Remove
father-in-law.
some
Mr. Matty says, love L.A. Noir. Yeah, I know. I do too. I think it would be great for the channel. I mean, it's a Rockstar game. It's thematically consistent.
Here for 30 years now. Came here
It's worth a playthrough, and it'd be great content for the live streams.
for 10 years we fought the Indians. Tough men.
Also, I can use the footage for
Smallpox. Terrible.
for movie nights when I have something on in the background while I talk about movies. The next Saturday's movie is Commando from 1985, an Arnold movie.
That whole herd's of cattle. Take sick.
It will be co-hosted by your friend and channel moderator David V.
No, sir. When I hear about this so-called
And I'm really looking forward to it. It's a great
sending
movie.
out agents to covertly murder and control people, then I start to worry. I mean, yeah, all right, Williamson is
Terminator Salvation was basically an apocalyptic disaster as far as live streams go. I believe we had like less than 5 viewers per hour. It's doing okay in replays, but it was a failed experiment, regrettably.
we don't want to live like that out here.
Hopefully Arnold will be better for the channel.
Spying, secret missions. Preposterous.
We shall see. It's all an experiment. These live streams are all an experiment, I guess. Just hanging out with you guys,
Any further? Come on, Bonnie.
seeing how it develops, seeing if we can move the channel in this direction.
Daddy's favorite pastime, apart from political discourse, that is.
What is it?
In other channel news, we're working on
Come on.
the horse announcement video.
Third city dweller, that is.
We should have that up this week, along with the aforementioned moose video.
You're gonna need
And
this.
apart from that, I took a break from Red Dead 1. We're about 67% in,
Let's see if we can put that new weapon
and
to good use. That
now I was
ranger
working on
says
Bad
there's
Honor
more
Arthur
horses nearby.
and just trying to figure out Bad Honor Arthur's look. But that's basically because I'm kind of bored with this game, and I want to get back into Arthur and Horseshoe Overlook and my familiar world of Red Dead 2. This world of Red Dead 1 is not my world.
Hey, there he is, Mr. Marston. I saw the telegram.
John got into the habit of knocking over
Ain't exactly a state
random NPCs in Bonnie's ranch. Bonnie doesn't mind.
The government can go to hell if you ask me. Those sons of bitches that steal a coin off a dead man's eyes.
Mr. Marston!
He's right. Now, I don't know much about politics,
Please, Pa, can we just enjoy
but I
the
know
ride?
we're only as free as they say we are. Power's like a drink. The more you have, the more you want. There's few men who can handle it.
There's certain things in this country a woman can
I
do
do like John's character
I ain't gonna
in
argue with that, Miss McFarland.
Red Dead 1. He's more mature, he's more articulate, more confident, more sure of himself. Still hates condors. Technically, that's not a condor, it's a falcon or a hawk. But John thinks it's a condor.
Come on.
Now we gotta catch up.
Come on, don't be afraid of that lasso.
Interestingly, it's easier to tame horses in this game than in Red Dead 2. I mean, it's nothing, really. It's just back and forth, zigzag on the stick. I was surprised. Nahayan Amin says, do you think Red Dead 3 will be about John and Arthur's childhood? No, I do not. I think it will be about young Dutch and young Hosea in perhaps 1879. either that or they will it will follow Davy in the year before Blackwater, so 1898. That's what I would like, but who knows? Who knows if they're even going to make a Red Dead 3? Appreciate you being here, Nahian.
Come on then.
Happy Monday.
Get another one.
And thanks for your question.
What are you waiting for?
The Wild West. Yes, indeed.
We haven't got all day. Keep a good hold on him. Don't want to break him in. I got a hold on him. You got this.
We are not technically in the Wild West in 1911, which was just an odd choice for Rockstar to set this game in 1911, except for the fact that I think they wanted to cover the Mexican Revolution, which started in 1911.
Come on, baby. Home now. Whoa. Relax.
But then again, I don't know the story of Red Dead Revolver, and that might have some significance to why this game is set in 1911.
Let's get back to the ranch.
See, it's so easy to tame these horses. It's nothing.
I like your father.
I'm glad. He's quite a character.
You have a good life here. A life I want. For me and my family, I mean.
We don't have a lot anymore.
You have enough. It's one that gets so many folks in trouble.
Tomorrow I'll teach you about rain. It'll sap your spirit and make you poor.
And we follow Bonnie some more.
There's no better night's sleep than after an honest day's work.
It's no wonder you look so tired then.
Gotta corral these horses. Love that flag. The McFarlane Ranch flag. I don't believe that exists in Red Dead 2. It should.
Whoa there.
It's a cool flag.
Well done, Mr. Marston. These are fine.
Mr. McFarlane.
Hey, Bonnie,
He's a cool dad.
was saying,
Not too many father figures in this game.
Let's go, Mr. Marston. We can really do with those horses.
Technically, Dutch is a failed father figure, but you don't really get to see him.
Come on, Mr. Marston. Let's head for Armadillo.
Come on, Mr. Marston.
You never did tell me why you were never married. Aside from the snobbery, that is.
You sure asked a lot.
I'm just surprised, that's all. You must have been quite a catch.
The fact that you're talking in the past says it all.
No, that's not what I mean. You must have had some suitors, that's all I'm saying.
Some, I suppose. Here and there. A ranch in the middle of Hennigan's Stead ain't really the place to find a husband. Amos, he's a little... Well, you
I
know,
like Bonnie's voice. She reminds me so much of Sadie.
Gracious, Miss McFarland.
from a couple
Those
of
two
cheap
characters are cut from the same cloth. I would assume, because they're so similar, the same writer worked on both of them. But, obviously, Bonnie has had a more stable and happier life. She's not consumed by violence and revenge and guilt, survivor's guilt. And Bonnie's in a better place financially and physically. Pretty much in charge of that big ranch. Or second in charge. Metro says, what's good, chat? You're good, Metro. Happy Monday. Miko says, some deck pack must be short a joker. John also uses that line when Arthur antagonizes him in camp. I'm glad. That's good to know. It's interesting. I know canonically that John was born in 1978 or 1878, and Abigail was born in 1879. So in Red Dead 2, John is 21, and Abigail is 20. Jack looks like he's, what, 5 or 6? So she had Jack when she was like 15 at best, maybe 14. So, wow. But, you know, it's 1899. Mr. Maddie says, have you met the marshal yet? And we shall, right after we get this horse. Metro says, how are you liking Red Dead 1? That is a good question. I like it canonically. I like it in a historical context. I like how it reflects and broadens my perspective of Red Dead 2. I really like John's character in Red Dead 1. I love how Jack looks. I love grown-up Jack. He looks great. I like him better than John in this game. However, I understand that this game historically is a masterpiece, but it's very washed out. It's very crude in terms of just the rendering of like faces. The horse controls are very glitchy. Hunting is, one of my favorite things to do in Red Dead 2, and here it's nothing. It's just like shooting an NPC. Same with crafting. There's no trapper. So I like it okay. It's like Red Dead Light. I don't think I'll replay this game. Also, we will do we will do an Undead Nightmare playthrough for Halloween, but it's not my favorite game, let's put it like that. And this is a very pretty horse. Additionally, if I did not have this channel and I was just playing this game for fun, I would have abandoned it and gone back to Red Dead 2. It's just not interesting. It's very linear. Find Bill. Find Javier. Find Dutch. Side missions, do a chariot race. Collect pieces of a Gatling gun. So it's very linear. The stranger events, while quirky in that Rockstar way, are not as interesting or as emotionally involved as the stranger events in Red Dead 2. I mean, it's good. I wish I'd played it when it came out so I could be as sentimental as all the other players I know are. It's David and O-Dog. But I didn't. Mr. Matty says, which version of the game is this? This is the PS4 remaster, so I assume it's the game of the year. And David says, need a few more likes to be even, Cowboys. Appreciate you being here, David. Happy Monday. I was just talking about you. Metro says, yeah, I never replayed last time. I played was in the time when it wasn't on disc for PS4, when everyone thought it was going to be a remaster. Yeah, it's not really a remaster. I mean, it's just a reissue on PS4, which made it more convenient for me. See, it's nothing to tame this horse, which Bonnie will give us, but I couldn't figure out how to access it. It wasn't in our kit. We got this free horse that's very pretty. I do like those Palomino coats, regardless of us being in Red Dead 1 or 2. But you can't really bond with these horses in the game or emotionally. I didn't feel the same emotional connection to a horse in this game than a horse in our game in Red Dead 2. I think because you can't name him, you can't bond him, you can't feed him, you can't pet him or brush him.
Thanks for your help today, Mr. Marston.
But it's
We got
awfully
some
nice
fine horses.
of Miss McFarlane to give us this horse.
Keep that stallion as your own. As a thank you for
David, how are you?
Man,
Happy Monday.
he's a fine animal.
What's for dinner? I had split pea soup and teriyaki beef with steamed veggies and rice. Condor. It's not a condor, but John keeps thinking. John sees condors everywhere. They drive him crazy. They drive him mad. David started working on Bad Arthur. David says, enchilada casserole. That sounds delicious. I love enchiladas and I love casseroles. I'm in. I'll just eat around the chili peppers. Metro says you should make a video kind of like the Doc Holliday vid, but Clint Eastwood, Man with No Name, where you make him in Red Dead 2. Yeah, we don't really have ponchos though, and the poncho is so iconic. So I'm not sure what we would substitute with that for that. Which is a shame because Javier has a poncho. Brett Tucker, greetings, friend. What's your favorite horse in Red Dead 1? Yeah, that's a good question. I have no idea. I've been experimenting with all the horses. I don't really bond with these horses. It's ironically, we got a Kentucky Saddler, which is, a very, a very moderate horse in Red Dead 2, and it's one of the fastest horses in Red Dead 1. Also, very pretty. There's a Hungarian that I really want to get that is still locked at 67%. I'm very curious about that one. So I don't really have a favorite, but it's a great question, Brett.
Made me feel out of form.
Mr. Matty says, who has the best gang member saddle in your opinion? That is a tough question. I'd have to do research to answer that. Sadie immediately comes to mind because she gets to have a canteen, but that's the only thing I can think of right now. There's a canteen on Bob. David says, John is the reason PETA was formed. Well, yes, John has a problem with these condors. This is our first stranger mission. It makes no sense to me. We just go out there and look at some bones and we don't report back. Mr. Matty says, Lenny also has a canteen. Yeah, we should be able to have canteens. I like canteens. We should also be able to customize our knife sheath. That seems right up the trapper's skill set. Because I wanted an all-black holster gun rig for Arthur's black outfit, and there's nothing you can do about the knife. Metro says, but like your take on the character, or you could use the sheepskin trapper cloak or the legendary panther cloak for the poncho. Yeah, I was thinking of the legendary panther cloak. It's the closest thing. Mr. Matty says, you can get the canteens with YM's DLC mod. Yeah, probably, but, the only mod that we use on this channel is Save Wizard for Horses. And I don't really like using mods because it gives false hope to viewers who aren't using the mod. I like just using the PS4 as a base. Mods they're kind of clickbaity because they're showing you things that you can't have, that you can't easily have. But that's just my philosophical take on the matter. It's like, where I want the channel to be. I want the channel to be easy access for everyone. This is a horse that you can get. It might be tricky, but you can get it. This is an outfit that is available. You just have to take this element and this element, this element. Here are some skunks. Here's a skunk location. Things that everyone can get. So they're not disappointed. You can get canteens in Red Dead 2. No, you can't. But I guarantee you it would generate a lot of views and a lot of disappointment in the comments. And that the algorithm would love that and push it even farther, because the algorithm doesn't care about likes or dislikes, just wants engagement. That's why the country and the world is so polarized. And you don't understand. The algorithm wants you angry. The algorithm wants you engaged. Everyone's worried about Skynet when you really should worry about the algorithm. See, you just examine some bones and then you report back. You don't report back. That's it. That is a very pretty sunset, though. Odog says, "What up, Davy boy?" Odog's here. David's here. He had enchilada casserole for dinner. One thing I love, however, about Red Dead 1 is you can fast travel from camp immediately. That's very convenient. All these random outfits. David says 16 on 9 likes. Come on. Come on, partner. And David says, hello, O-Dog. Appreciate you, David. Appreciate you, O-Dog. Shout out to the mods. Can we even eat in this game? I don't think we can. I don't think we've eaten once. Later on, we get an improved camp, and that reloads ammo. Also very convenient. And back to Bonnie. Yeah, this was super annoying.
Come on, let's go! Get him in there! Come on!
We lost some cows.
Hey, miss, I got most of the horses secure and the chicken.
They run off the cliff like a herd of bison. Super annoying.
The weather is coming in real fast.
So what do you suggest, Amos? We leave the herd out there to be scattered by the storm and ourselves left here to die without a livelihood?
Can I help?
No, miss. If the men get caught out in that storm, they're gonna die.
And if we lose our herd, we'll all die, you stupid man.
Doesn't sound like we're left with much of a choice then. Come on, Amos. Round up your men. Let's get the herd.
Dang.
Come on, Mr. Marston. Hurry.
Come on, Mr. Marston. Yeah, let's follow Bonnie. Go get them cows.
That sky don't look good.
Spoiler alert, we're going to fail this mission.
Are you a religious man?
Not in any real sense. Sometimes I tell myself
Can't
things
afford to
happen
fall.
for a reason. Like what
Partly it's because I didn't figure out for the longest time that it's not tap X
Look for answers somewhere.
for these horses. It's just hold X.
Big old bottles of whiskey. Watch it in that
Hold
mud.
and release. It's
believing in some kind of
I still had my Red Dead 2 reflexes.
past is who we are.
Nahian Amin says I was dying to play this game after playing Red Dead 2, and it scratched that itch. Plus, it helped me learn the map for Red Dead Redemption Online.
I think we can handle that.
The cows get real
Well, I'm
ornery
glad
there.
you got something out of this game. I'm getting something out of this game. I'm enjoying it. It's just not Red Dead. It's just not my Red Dead Redemption. David says herding is horrible. David, we're gonna drive most of these poor cows off a cliff in like 2 minutes from now. Very sad. Metro says, but you would have to use the stalker hat for Clint because that is pretty much his hat. Yeah, I agree.
I haven't seen a storm like this for a while. We need to be quick.
Yeah, we can do it. I mean, outfit videos always work quite well on the channel. Everyone loves an outfit video. That's why I want to put a lot of effort into the the Bad Honor Arthur outfit. Arthur. And we'll do some missions like refusing Mary, Sean's train job, but mostly we're just going to ride around and shoot up towns and antagonize people. And steal horses. Yeah, these darn cows. But as annoying as this is, David, it's nothing like the chariot race. That was horrifying. But we redid it. Once I figured out there's holdex, we redid it and did quite well. But I will show you both versions. Metro says David says all black. Yes, that's pretty much as far as I've gotten. All black, the black French dress shirt, and the rat hat, which we are currently working on. Metro says there are many references to Clint. There is a gravesite next to Armadillo, and one of the graves says "Man with no name." It's also in Red Dead 1. Well, this to me is the greatest reference to Clint Eastwood. I mean, that looks exactly like him. I'll show you. There, see, you can compare. You can do an A-B comparison. Arthur looks exactly like Clint. David says, I beat it eventually, but it was a disaster. Same, David. A disaster. But I had to come back to it. We did it many times, and then finally I think we just skipped the checkpoint. But we redeemed ourselves. We redeemed ourselves in that race and one more. I forget which. David said the man with no name. Yes, these poor cows. I felt bad for the cows. You know, it's like stupid, dumb cows. Get away from... I didn't really know how to do this without falling off the cliff ourselves. And this seems like more of a job for a dog. At any rate, Metro says, imagine if that was the cover for Red Dead 2, but it said the good, the rat, and the money. A great theme song. David said, at first I thought it was my controller, even bought a new one. Yeah, it's not the controller. Spoiler alert, it's not the controller. No, it's like the sticks are twitchy in this game. They're very sensitive. I think, and you and O-Dog would know better than me, that the controls are closer to GTA than Red Dead, or like than Red Dead 2 and horse riding. They're like, it's more like, horses in this game are more like motorcycles, like very, very versatile, adept motorcycles. And we lost most of it. Well, 19 of 21. We only lost 10%, but still, I felt bad. I felt bad for Bonnie. She's relying on us. And she will give us some cattle later on. further on down the trail as it was. David says, as bad as San Andreas. Yeah. See? I wish Bully was available on PS4. Let's see if it is. Bully, PS4. It's PS2. Reddit says, how is Bully on PS4? There are major differences. So it is kind of. Let's see. What does Amazon say? Bully Scholarship Edition, Xbox 360. Saints Row. Jump Force. Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition. Here we go. Wait, no, Xbox. PS2. Witcher 3. Game of the Year. Mafia Definitive Edition. Believe Serena's going to be playing that. Dead Rising. Zombie game. Doesn't look like it's available. Resident Evil 4. At any rate, let's get these cows back home, shall we? Metro, were you talking to me about stock tips last night? Because Digital World acquisition jumped 20 bucks. Pretty much doubled in price. We had a really good day. I don't know if it'll hold. I don't know if it'll stay there or hold it. I don't know how long it'll hold it, and I believe the opportunity has passed, but it was a good pick. Kind of know what I'm doing sometimes. Better than, I know, horse riding and herding in this game. Let's move on. Love knocking over guys because there's really no consequence to it. Sometimes they'll shoot back, they'll fight, but most of the time they just complain. Metro says, thoughts on GTA 6? I think it's overhyped. I honestly believe it will be a downgrade. I believe you will be disappointed. I don't want to be I want to be wrong. I don't like being pessimistic. But I think it's going to be a Cyberpunk 2077 situation where they will release a broken unfinished game and then like stick you with a bunch of updates. So yeah, I think you'll be disappointed. Metro says, Honor doesn't change anything in this game. Yeah, I didn't notice. And I saw these horseshoes and I thought it was a stable. And we got suckered into a game, which I tried to play, and it seems a lot like the fishing mechanics. Oh, also, David, while I was searching for rats in Limpany, we saw the fisherman with the dog, and so I just shot him with the 22 headshot, killed him, and then we could pick up the fishing pole. So we might make a short out of that. How to pick up a fishing pole early in Chapter 1 or Chapter 2 without Jack. And I always thought, I've read that you can knock him over and get it, but I was never able to do it. He just runs away. But yeah, killing him works just fine. Yes, we want to quit horseshoes. Horseshoes is terrible. I don't think we played any of the games, the side games in this game. We did go to a movie, which was kind of fun. David says, start survivalist early. Metro says, what's your top 5 favorite live streams? Nerdrotic, Heels versus Babyface. Those are the, Perry Caravello. Those are the only ones that I watch with any regularity.
You a tough guy, mister? I hope so. We gonna have a showdown. Don't worry, I'll close your eyes before any ladies see ya.
You're making a big mistake.
What are your favorite live streams?
Like it. I want it between
You better add this one to your list. I know we're not popular, but we're doing the best we can with the with the tools we have, with the mods we have. And then I don't even know how we got into this. Well, we got him, and there was no consequence. And as always, looting is the best way to make money in this game. Also, it's interesting that you cannot pick up that weapon, but you do pick up the ammo. Yes, Metro, this is a calm live stream. David says, other than this, all my live streams are 49er based. Let's talk about the 49ers. That's funny. It's just a world I really know nothing about, but I'm glad. I'm glad it exists. You have that community. That's like one of the greatest things about the internet and YouTube is the development of niche communities of pretty much any interest. You can find like-minded individuals and make friendships. Love that flag. It's kind of twisted in the wind. I really wanted to show it to you because it's daylight. We'll come back to it. Let's move on. Also, no photo mode in this game, regrettably. Is that Nigel West Dickens? Yes, it is. Let's go see Nigel West Dickens. Hop, hop. Come on. There. She's tired. She can usually get up there, but not when she's tired. Say hi to David. Say hi to O-Dog. Say hi to chat. Say hi, chat. No, not me. Say hi to them. Look up there and say hello. The co-host has returned. I'm glad I smell interesting to her. And this is green tea. You know it. And you don't like it. Meanwhile, in Armadillo. David says, my logo is the 951 Faithfuls, Riverside, California. David says, you will have fun in Mexico. Yeah, I did. We're out of there. We got Javier and Bill. Spoiler alert. We got Dutch. We're playing as Jack. We're at 67%. David said hello to you. See? He said hello. He said hello. I like Wes Dickens. He reminds me of Hosea, like a combo of Hosea and Uncle. He has Hosea's con man trickstery,
You need help?
with a little dash of Josiah Trelawney, and then just the loserness and uselessness of Uncle,
Do I look like I'm okay?
all in one character.
Pretty good for a court.
Also, he reminds me of Professor Marvel from The Wizard of Oz.
Mister. Time to get you to a doctor or an undertaker.
But yeah, I like him.
Get down.
St. Peter, open up them pearly gates. I'm coming.
He introduces us to
Oh, come on, mister.
Seth,
Come on.
who will lead us to Irish.
Hurry, sir. I'm bleeding like a badly butchered hog. You'll be fine. Just focus. You better take the reins. I don't think I'm strong enough. I'm finished.
But yeah, once David, I had fun in Mexico, but I got bored there. I actually returned to this side of the map just to work on some stranger missions.
The closest doctor is in our
David says, kinda sounds like Hosea, kinda. Well, they use the same kind of word, verbiage style. They have the same style of talking. I see him as a proto-Hosea.
one day. You must have me mistaken with somebody else, Fred.
I think he even calls John Deere boy at one point.
Word sure travels fast around here. Good Lord, it's those scoundrels once again.
Take care of these jokers who are mad at us. And in my mind, he's manufacturing miracle tonics. David said, and the Bigfoot. Yes, we will revisit the Bigfoot during Halloween when we come back to this game.
Praise be, there's still hope. What the hell happened to you?
David, we shall finish this, and then we will do Bad Honor Free Roam with some missions. Once I figure out Arthur's look for Bad Honor Arthur, and maybe L.A. Noire. Thinking seriously about an L.A. Noire playthrough. Which would be significant in the sense that it's the first non-Western game that we feature on this channel. And I really wanted to stick with Arthur and Red Dead 2, and that will also always be the main focus of this channel. But it is a Rockstar game, and we need to get these live streams to sustain themselves.
This is it. You're gonna make it.
Where the devil are we?
Armadillo. We made it safe. You'll be
Bigfoots eat babies or berries.
Thank you,
No
sir.
one knows.
Thank you.
It is a Red Dead mystery. David says, or Assassin's Creed. I think I'd do Witcher before Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I really want Serena to play. I don't know how often I can stress it, but I don't recall any monsters in the game. David, do you? It's just people, and then there's like an elk, legendary elk, but I don't think there are any monsters. Just like seriously dangerous, heavily armored enemies, as I recall. But I could be wrong. Metro Edit says, who would win in a duel, Doc Holliday or Man with No Name? I'd have to give it to Clint. He's pretty much bulletproof. But Doc was an actual historical figure. But Doc Holliday, as portrayed by Val Kilmer in Tombstone, is suffering from TB. Johnny Ringo was all show. He was not a huckleberry. So I'd have to give it to Clint. didn't really know how to fight here, and I think a sheriff got us. And there's no penalty for dying. I mean, it's like you have a death tax in Red Dead 2, and the only penalty here is you lose distance. You will respawn somewhere you were before, and probably not where you wanted to be. Metro says yes, same. He's just too badass. Well, he is the man with no name, with his own brand of justice. Neither good or bad. Slept 6 hours and it's still dark. What's that about? Let's move on. I do like these black and red just prep screens, I'd call it. It is Red Dead Redemption, as you don't you know. Accent on red. We did not purchase or rent any locations. Didn't care. It's easy enough to camp. Metro says, I usually base my Red Dead 2 outfits off of Angel Eyes from Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah, that works. It's a good inspiration. At some point, we shall do a Good, the Bad, and the Ugly commentary, where I watch my copy of it and you watch or stream your copy of it. That would be fun, but that's in the future. Don't forget, David, this Saturday we're watching Commando. You and me. You and me, brother. Metro says, I made a mix between your Super Arthur and Angel Eyes. Well, I'm very honored to be part of your playthrough. And I know Arthur is happy. I didn't know what this exclamation point was. Okay, we can take a stagecoach. They're kind of expensive.
Where do you want to go? Take me to Armadillo. Don't charge extra.
J Nux says, good evening, Super Antonio. I recently got this game for Nintendo Switch and am amazed by how smoothly the port to the Switch plays. I have never played before, and as a huge Red Dead 2 fan, I am excited for the ride. Interesting. I had heard this was available on Nintendo Switch. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thanks for being here, J-Nux. Welcome to the stream. Happy Monday. David says, the only dedicated outfit I have is Chapter 3 All Blue Union outfit. Yes, you do enjoy trolling the Lemoyne Raiders with an all blue Union outfit. You know, I thought about getting a Nintendo Switch during COVID because I was so charmed by Animal Crossing. You know, I can't describe the feeling of watching those playthroughs as just charming. But ultimately, I just felt it was like it was too just youthful for this channel. I need to play mature games, but I'm completely charmed, and and Animal Crossing just makes me smile watching those playthroughs. It's like as if Hello Kitty had a world, but we don't do Hello Kitty. And then I didn't know what was going on here. Super annoying. I didn't. But you know what, like, supply chains were like during the pandemic. It was almost impossible to get a Nintendo Switch at that point. Let's move on. Pike's Basin. Who was Pike? Is it Christopher Pike? That's a Star Trek reference for you. And it's odd that day or night doesn't really make a difference in this game.
How good are you with iron? I bet you can't beat Irish
What is this Joker wants?
bet you money.
Why not? I like watching a man eat his work.
See, it's the middle of the night and we're shooting birds. Metro says, have you heard about the new Indiana Jones game coming out? I have indeed. It's first person, so don't care. Also, I assume it will be a lot like the latest Indiana Jones movie. So it's not for me. It's for a modern gaming audience, and I'm not a modern gamer. David says, in our restaurants, we were limited to 35 cases of food. The normal prefer would be at least 95 to 100. Wow, David said during pandemic. Yeah, it was crazy. I'm amazed we lived through that. And, my mother died in 2020. It was not related to the pandemic. She had been sick for a long time before that, but that's just another reason for me to hate that year. Metro says, I thought they could make that, then they could make a Clint Eastwood game. I don't think they would, Metro, just because Clint Eastwood isn't associated with Man with No Name. He's thought of more as a director these days. And I think video game designers aren't really looking behind, they're looking forward. They're not taking inspiration from old franchises. Indiana Jones notwithstanding. I'd like a Godzilla game where we just stomp around Tokyo and destroy things. That'd be fun. And here comes the marshal with his useless deputies.
Ah, since you're here, you want to make yourself useful?
Not particularly.
Listen, son, I know you got a mission. Right now, I need another gun.
We're doing this out of order.
Bet
and I apologize for that. We saw the Marshal first, then West Dickens, because the Marshal tells us about West Dickens.
They burnt the place down, killed the men, burning most of them alive, and raped the women. Women folk then got their throats slit. One of them survived and walked in here this morning.
Anyway, we got a posse gathering up near Ridgewood. Will you ride with us?
All right.
Thank you, John Marston.
Yeah, the pandemic was crazy. The only good thing that came out of it for me personally is I became addicted to Amazon Prime and shopping online, and that's very convenient for me. Now I prefer shopping online than going to brick and mortar stores. I can't stand it anymore. David says, okay, cowpokes, very early morning tomorrow. Hit that like button. Tell your friends you all come back now here. David, appreciate you, friend. Go 49ers. I will see you on Saturday, and you have a great week.
Claims to have found a remedy to
And
all
give my love to your lovely wife.
His tonic has helped a great many people. It's a medical breakthrough from the East. The result of years of research.
Okay, let's go to work.
cure him of his diarrhea of the mouth.
Metro says, yeah, and a lot of new games are not based on stuff that could actually happen. And also, those movies are so old. Yeah, I mean,
Spend their hard-earned money.
you know, I hate to say they're not relevant because they're so iconic. But, you know, these guys are in the business of making money. They're not in the business of celebrating iconic movies that are, I don't know, 60 years old. David says, yes, you will. Thank you, friend.
Ain't no survivors here, Marshal.
Really wish we had waited and done this this mission during daylight. But I hadn't really figured out how to manipulate the saves. And I assumed, like Red Dead 2, you could only sleep for so many iterations. And of course, I assumed wrong. However, we picked up a free Winchester. And that'll come in handy.
Go.
Keep following this road. What kind of man does that? A bunch of weak men. A pack of cowards is the most dangerous kind.
Some men are just born plain evil.
I think it's this land that makes the men, as much as the other way around. Men are born.
Let's move on.
At least that's how I see it.
Who could have done such a thing?
Any number of people, especially now the word's out we're cleaning up the county.
Between Walton's boys and the rustlers, we've been spilling a lot of blood.
It's interesting how you don't really get clearly defined gangs, enemy gangs, or enemies in this game.
Let's go check
You have to, like, we take out this outlaw gang, then we have to fight Mexican rebels, and then we have to fight the Mexican army, and then we fight Dutch's gang, and Pinkertons and the U.S. Army. But it's more
Scumbags must
polymorphous, I suppose, and it's not as well, to me, it's not as creative as, like, say, the Lemoyne Raiders or the O'Driscoll Gang or the Murphy Brood. You know, that's just far more just evocative and interesting, fascinating to me.
It wasn't our way. At least it wasn't my way.
These are just guys that shoot back at you.
No matter how you dress it up. Can't see a soul anywhere. This ain't right.
Let's go.
And also, we had to go look to see if the infinitely spawning gold loot boxes back here. It is not. But it was fun. It's that's one of my favorite aspects of this game is how it reflects and infuses Red Dead 2 with the character of Red Dead 1 by reusing all of these locations but making them infinitely better.
No one here.
And back to the barn we go.
No one would board up a barn like this. Come on, John. Shoot that door open.
Looks like the marshal is on a red roan Tennessee Walker. Metro says, in my opinion, Red Dead 3 should be where you play as Landon Ricketts at the peak of the Old West, but then would have to find a new voice actor. Rest in peace. I did like Landon Ricketts. I have a lot to say about him once we get there. Once we get to Mexico.
All right, boys. We need to get into that house right now.
I'm wide open here.
I think that's too far. It has to... Thematically, it has to, we have to stick with... It has to relate to John. And it would just make much more sense to do a young Hosea and Dutch from a plot perspective. I think we died a couple times doing this. We hadn't really gotten the handle on miracle tonics or health items, and also we still had our Red Dead 2 reflexes where you just kind of don't take advantage of natural cover and just barge in there and shoot everyone.
Just walk away.
Also, I hadn't really figured out that health indicator of just like the screen gets darker and more bloody. I couldn't figure out just how much time. It's so much easier in Red Dead 2, with your health bars. And we don't really have a health bar. We have a health screen.
You and me gonna have ourselves some fun.
Aim and blast!
I do love that Landon Ricketts voice actor.
Make a run for it when it's clear.
He reminds me of Lee Van Cleef, and I believe if they replaced him, much like Uncle in Red Dead 2 has become my uncle, and the uncle in this game, I kind of, he's not my uncle, so I don't like him. So I feel I would have the same opinion of a new Landon Ricketts.
Oh, good Lord.
See? Accidentally shot the lady. So we had to redo it. Spare the rod, spoil the bandit. So in this game, you have to take advantage of natural cover. You have to stick and move, and once your health level goes down, if you don't have any medicine, which John didn't have for most of this game because I hadn't figured that out, you just have to hide and wait for your health levels to reload. Metro says, well, yeah, I thought the same as playing at the beginning years of the game, but what would be the redemption story? Oh, that's either a new character or Davy. They either go with Davy and Blackwater in 1898, or young Dutch and Arthur, or young Arthur, like 13-year-old Arthur, young Dutch, young Hosea, and a new character that nobody has talked about.
Ain't you a pretty little thing? I'm gonna enjoy this. You're gonna be all right.
Fun to speculate, but
Shit in the
honestly
back
don't
as
think
soon
it'll
as it looks
happen.
clear.
And I'm happy to be proved wrong, and I'm not pessimistic by nature. I just don't like how Rockstar has treated this game, and I don't have a good feeling about the future of the franchise. Again, that's because Dan and Dave aren't there anymore. Let's try that again, shall we? And without Dan and Dave, I don't think they really know what to do with this. With this game. But I could be wrong. They could be working on something right now. They're not, but they could be. You never know. I'm very cynical when it comes to modern media, modern popular culture, and where it's going. We need a reset. A great reset, if you will.
You and me gonna have ourselves. You know you're gonna die, right? I survived a lot of these. This is gonna be your last one.
But yeah, it's another way. It's another way that the pandemic affected popular culture and modern gaming. Changed everything, and we are only now seeing the repercussions.
Make a run for it when it's clear.
They did unspeakable things to me.
Looks all clear, fellas. Let's check up on the farmers.
I think we got in trouble for looting that cabin, or that cabinet. As I recall. Maybe we didn't. On average, each of these guys, any enemy or NPC, will have at least $7. That adds up over time. And also, we got a lucky rabbit's foot, which acts like the elk antler trinket and gives a 10% boost to looted enemies and NPCs. So that's very convenient. We racked up money fast, but much like Red Dead 2, there's nothing to spend it on, apart from horses and supplies. Though you can go full auto on the Mauser, and I'm very disappointed that we did not get that earlier. I believe it was unlocked fairly early, and I love full auto on that Mauser. Jack has it.
These are people's lives, people's homes.
Man up, boy. We gotta get after those bandits. Follow me.
The graphics in this game remind me of LA Noire, except it's Western. But for some reason, I accept LA Noire more, perhaps because it's just not Red Dead Redemption 2 related.
All this sure looks like their handiwork.
Makes sense if they took this road.
Come on, Marshall. This might be our chance.
And it's a different world of like concrete and asphalt and neon. And it just seems more suited to this this style of artwork or rendering. Whereas Red Dead 2 is basically photorealistic when it comes to landscapes and animals. Falls a little short with humans, but that's okay. Don't want to fall into the uncanny valley as far as humanity goes. Metro says, would you play Red Dead 3 if it came out? Yeah, I'd have to. I would have to for the channel. I just don't have much faith that it will. Or if it does, you know, we're looking at like 2030, which I know isn't that far away, but it seems like a million miles away. You know, it seems like it's 20 years away from now. I know it's only 6 years. What?
Opinion of yourself, John. Dutch always said you were an arrogant son of a bitch.
So who knows what their, you know, what this channel will be like in 6 years.
Get 'em, boys.
There's Bill. There's Bill. Yeah, I'm more concerned with what we're going to do this year. Metro says, how did you find out about the Red Dead franchise? I was playing games. I was playing Minecraft with my nephew. We used to play Lego and watch Clone Wars, and then he got into video games, so we started playing Minecraft and watching Clone Wars. And then he like started getting into the gaming world, and so I started reading just Kotaku and gaming articles just so I'd have something to talk to him about it. And coincidentally, I read an article on Red Dead Redemption 2, and I was very intrigued by the open world. Then I started watching videos, and the rest is history. But yeah, it was basically my nephew. My nephew now plays Call of Duty and CSGO. He likes first-person shooters. I think he's mostly CSGO. In Minecraft, I was obsessed with making pyramids and reproducing one-to-one architectural structures, like the Parthenon. I made a Parthenon. I made a Titanic. I made what else? This was an odd sequence. A little bit homoerotic, very rockstar. I made the Lincoln Memorial. Yeah, I was having fun with Minecraft. And then he moved on to Fortnite, which I didn't really care about, but I was happy to watch it with him. Or watch him play it. It was more about bonding with him when he was a young lad. Now we need to grab some cash. We need the supplies. So I would say that the aspect of this game that I most enjoy is how much it makes me appreciate Red Dead 2. Just how much better Red Dead 2 is comparing the two. But however, again, John is a better character in this game. He's smarter, he's more articulate, he's more assured of himself and more in command. But then Red Dead 2 is not John's game. This is John's game. John is more like Arthur in this game. Arthur, also note John has a war horse as his default horse, which I like. Kind of bookends with the pre-order Iron Grey Ardennes, an actual war horse that Arthur gets. Let's move on. And back to Bonnie's we go. What does Bonnie want now? Metro says, do you think you would make content outside of Rockstar Games? I do not know.
Excuse me, Mr.
I mean,
Have you seen my father anywhere?
I want this channel to be all about Arthur and Red Dead Redemption.
Back hours ago. I don't know.
But I understand that in order to grow, we need to expand. There's no modern games I want to play. I would play Witcher 3 before I would play any modern
See if you
game.
can find the old ghost.
Witcher 3 is the only game that, in my mind, comes close to Red Dead 2.
I've got a bad feeling about this. It's not like him to be away for so long.
In many ways, I believe Witcher 3 is more expansive than Red Dead 2. Horse controls are still a little jangly, but it has a fascinating story, which is just as immersive as Red Dead 2. So that's what we're doing with these live streams. They are an experiment.
Daddy, what happened?
Nothing
We will
nice.
certainly. I'm pretty sure we're going to do a Rockstar. I mean an LA Noir playthrough. So maybe we'll do
Watch after her.
I'll do that, sir.
maybe we'll do Witcher 3 after that, or maybe it will be October and we can get into Undead Nightmare.
What could have happened to those
We'll
poor
see.
men? And their horses were
Metro
dead
says,
too.
I recommend God of War for you. Start from the beginning with the first game in 2005.
Boss seemed to have an idea.
Yeah, God of War is very popular.
Just do what he says and get the wagon.
Odoc says, still here, just here. Appreciate you, friend. I'm glad you're here.
Those damn rustlers. I've got a good mind to head over to Pike's Basin myself.
I don't think that's a good idea.
We're going to watch Commando with David next Saturday. If you find a movie that's free on YouTube, let me know. Rather, a movie that you would like to watch or you would like to feature on the channel, a movie that you are sentimental about or is one of your favorite movies.
Outlaw with the code? How wonderfully romantic.
That'd be fun to do. Or we can wait for Beverly Hills Cop to come around again. I'm sure at some point it will be available for free.
Bad into good. Oh my
It's just
God.
bad timing on our part.
Fire. Come on, boy.
And the barn is on fire, but it's not like an enemy is targeting the ranch. It's just an act of God. We terrorized the townfolk.
Look, Mr. Marston, the barn is on fire.
So watch your approach, Marston. He was just too enthusiastic about putting out that fire, which we can't really put out. Odoc says, come on, bro, you gotta play with us sometime, LOL. Yeah, when I have the time. We'll figure it out.
Try and get inside, Mr. Marston. Climb up the windmill.
You gotta save them horses. Petra says, can we request movies for you and us like Commando? They have to be available on YouTube at some point, perhaps. Not right now, because
Get it. Now get the horses out.
I'm just kind of focused on doing my favorite movies and the favorite movies of my mods. The fact that that barn door was closed from the inside implies that bad guys did this, but I don't know how to. But I don't know if we ever addressed that issue. And also because movie night is the least popular of the streams.
Yes, John, thanks. You
At this point, just to make it worth my while, I want to watch movies that I like or I want to see.
sincerely, John. Thank you.
Well, did all I could, Miss McFarland. Sorry about all the damage. That gang seems to really...
At least until we get a
Yeah, well.
an audience. I know there's an audience out there.
Scares to think we're gonna be frightened by
I
some
know.
white
They
trash.
just have to
White
find
trash can
us.
be pretty frightening.
Well, they don't frighten me.
Good.
John, my family family owes you a great debt.
I think you got enough debt. You
Look
saved
at
my
Bonnie
life.
leaning on the fence there.
All I ask of you is this. If I get back home and get my farm started back up, you'll
I
send
like
some
Bonnie's outfit. I like that skirt pants thing she's got.
Of course, Mr. Marston. It'd be my pleasure.
Also note her turquoise necklace, very reminiscent of
Well,
Sadie in chapter 3.
I've got
Odog says, thing is, if we can catch up with Serena, it's just missions. After you get past the intro, it's not as serious as you're thinking. Just get in the car with us and go shooting NPCs and do the objective. Nothing to it. Yeah, I know. It's like it's been years since I've been in Red Dead Online. And I don't know what became of that character. And I don't have the original, I don't believe I have the original password login for either that character or the PS Play account. Odog says, you'll see, yeah, we'll figure it out. I want to focus on this game, the Bat Honor Free Roam, and LA Noire. Metro says, wait, your name is Antonio, right? It's Super Antonio. Super Antonio. Odog says, will that password reset? Yeah, I tried that when I was figuring out live streams for this. Because there's a way to stream your PS4 on your computer. And I thought that might be an interesting way to do, an elegant way to do live streams. And believe me, Odog, I have tried. LA Noire 1 or 2? I'm not sure. I assume 2. It's available on PS4. Odog says, did I miss something on 2? I don't know. Metro said, what made you pick that name? It's my name. Let's pick up some ammo. As long as we're here. Didn't really explore Bonnie's ranch as much as you would think I would, just because it didn't seem disrespectful, though I did enjoy knocking over her workers on the way out. Odog says, LA Noire 2 isn't close, I don't think. I have the same game that Serena played. That's one of the reasons why I want to play it. We already have it, and we can do it on the cheap. Armadillo in this game is basically Valentine in the desert. Except you can't have a deluxe bath.
What do you need? Hopefully How are you, friend?
Yeah, we got that rabbit's foot.
Made in this establishment, sir. You know, John's is elected governor
Very convenient.
from the rail lines to Allende.
Then Odog says, I have it too. Yeah. It's available. And we got the See, we have these treasure maps, and here are all these horses that don't really do. It's like, I wish they had like pictures of the horse. You can have info on him, but you can't really look at him. So I didn't really care. Didn't pick up any maps. Metro says, I wish I had a PC so I could get a mod of the Clint poncho for Arthur. Yeah. Yeah, there are no realistic ponchos in this game.
Howdy, mister.
For some reason. Picked up a volcanic. But we really should have gotten the Mauser. I think the Mauser is still locked. But we should have gotten the Mauser as soon as it's available. Right now it's 67%. Only explosive ammo is locked. And it makes a lot more sense that you can craft it. It's also interesting how lucrative hunting is in this game. You don't really have to worry about ratings or pelts. And you can sell them anywhere. Then I was like, what's that blue X? I know now what it is, but I thought it was a stranger event. These first few live streams, we were just figuring out what this game was about and how to play it and what's going on. Yeah, we can buy that property. Don't care. Though I assume if you buy you know, it's like, it's so much easier. I mean, you can just set a waypoint and travel there from camp. So why would you buy a property? I guess it's more immersive, it's more realistic. That would kind of make sense.
And I can tell you with no uncertainty.
And what's Nigel West Dickens up to?
I bid you good day, sir. Oh, Mr. Marston, good to see you. How have you been keeping?
I'm well,
Mr. West Dickens. Nigel West Dickens of Eastcheap, London, New Waverly, New York, and Armadillo, New Austin. At your service.
At my service.
He has the theatricality of Josiah Trelawney.
Knowledge of life.
How are your wounds?
Oh.
And Hosea
Much better. But then
with
they would be.
with a healthy dash of uncle in terms of uselessness and
I'm sure you do. And I'm sure
and
for just
shiftiness.
$2 an ounce, I could live forever.
Oh, but for you, sir, I do a bulk discount rate of $1.95 an ounce. As long as you buy 100 ounces or more. That's a lot of immortality.
Give it up, old man.
That's Mr. West
I would
Dickens to you, boy.
have loved to see a younger version of him in Red Dead 2. Or even a reference to him.
Listen, Marston, I'm broke. But this stuff is good. It works. I need a healthy young man like you. Come along, let's ride over to my
Spoiler
neighbor's house
alert,
in Ridgewood,
his
and
first
I'll
name
explain
is
why.
not actually Nigel, it's Gavin. That would be a fun video. I found Gavin in Red Dead 1. Maybe trying to run over people in that wagon. Wagons are slightly easier for me to drive than horses. Metro says money makes no sense in Red Dead 2. In the mission back to Gomorrah, after that, the gang should have had enough money to go to Tahiti. Yeah, but Dutch doesn't decide he wants to go to Tahiti until chapter 4. In chapter 3, in chapter 2, Oh, no, that's chapter 3. Yeah, in chapter 3, he's still like trying to figure out the rebel gold that the Braithwaite and the Grays have hidden.
You were acting it up worse than it was.
Tahiti is a desperate move. A restart.
I don't like the sound of this.
Tahiti means he's given up on ever coming back to Blackwater, New Austin, and I believe in chapter 3 he's still, that was still the end goal, is to get back to New Austin once they had enough money.
I'm really starting to regret
The original plan was to get enough money to buy some land and start over, preferably in New Austin. The smartest move would have been to take over Hanging Dog Ranch. Metro says, I'm gonna go. This stream was fire, was lit. Appreciate you, Metro. Thanks for being here. You have a great week. This live stream, this Red Dead 1 playthrough will continue on Friday. Saturday, we shall be watching Commando from 1985. And then Sunday and Monday, we're going to be doing, it's going to be all Red Dead live. Took a little time off this week just because I pushed so hard last week on Red Dead 1. And we worked on Bad Honor Arthur. Just because I was curious what kind of look I would make for him. And I assume towards the end of the Red Dead 1 live streams, we will start on Bad Honor Arthur for Free Roam Fridays. Bad Honor Free Roam. And David's not here, but we shot that frying pan for him. I love how fully rendered these locations are, but there's nothing here. Even though this is part of a Seth mission, as I recall. They hadn't really figured out what to do with these fully rendered locations. Apart from the random cache. Or maybe technology wasn't up yet to putting in all these little animations to collect stuff. Little bit of ammo. Where is everybody? And back to Nigel West Dickens we go, selling his miracle tonics. John gets to be a shill. Poor Sadie is she's asleep. She is stretching in her sleep. Here you can see her paw, I think. Yeah. I know my voice is calming, and I assume my voice is calming to her. These live streams are quite calming to the dog, but she has, she's had a long day. She's always tired. You only see her when she's tired. A happy dog is a tired dog. Or rather, a tired dog. Sleepy dog is a happy dog. So, yeah. She has a full day. I believe she has a good life. I hope she does. You, sir. Stranger I've never seen before.
This poor, wretched volunteer, entirely unknown to me, will demonstrate the effects of Dr. West Dickens'
If you recall in Saint Denis, we can volunteer to do the bullet trick with a magician. It's kind of like this. Miko says, speaking of money, Arthur said it best. 20 years of robbing and still living in tents like vagrants. Well, yeah, they were a band of roving outlaws. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I used to love Chapter 4 as a home base, just because Arthur finally gets a roof over his head.
Your eyesight is greatly improved, is that not so, friend?
Also note, John pretty much gets a roof over his head anywhere he goes in this game.
What a good sport you are, sir. Now, gaze over yonder at that porch. If you squint, you may just be able to...
Miko, glad you're here, friend. How's your week going? How are your snakes?
Go ahead, friend. Shoot that skull and demonstrate the miraculous eyesight you now possess.
Now this was odd because I couldn't figure out what he wanted us to shoot at. I assumed it was that thing, but we could never get it. Bodog says, remember, Red Dead 1 was a long time ago, 2 consoles ago, and different writers and directors, and online was always fun too. Yeah, that's true. Everybody moved on, but you know, that's what I'm saying about Red Dead 3. It's going to be 2 consoles ago, 2 consoles from now, with different writers and directors.
Wait, he is still adjusting to his powerful new eyes.
Miko says, yep, same old, working as usual, thanks. Hope you are all doing very well. We are doing quite well, thank you, friend. Odak says, for PS3, this game is excellent rendering. Yeah, see, I wish I'd played this on PS3, so I could appreciate the beauty and relevance of this game.
Wait, he is still adjusting to his powerful new eyes. Try again, friend. The tonic
Or from that perspective. However, you know, I have to compare it to our game. So we keep going with this darn thing until we finally hit whatever we were supposed to hit. Just seemed like we're aiming for the dead center of that thing, and that's not where it wanted us to be.
Wait, he is still adjusting to his powerful new eyes. Even I can hit that skull.
Deadeye was useless.
Wait, he is still adjusting. Charlatan!
But you get very minimal to like basically no editing in these games. You know, I tack on a countdown. Did you like my countdown? Customized Red Dead countdown in the beginning. But I just kind of show you the playthrough, warts and all. Makes it easier for me. This guy has a magnificent mustache. I wonder if he knows Cooper. Cooper would be a good look for Bad Arthur, but I'm not going to do it. It's not Western enough. And Cooper kind of looks like an old-fashioned strongman. Odog says, bro, have to take out trash. No worries, Odog. We have, I believe, about 18 minutes left on this live stream. If I don't see you, you have a great week. Hopefully I'll see you on Friday. Say hello to your lady friend. Give her my best wishes.
A challenge of battle has been offered to our volunteers. Let the battle commence!
And yeah, we still had, see, we're trying to punch and we're jumping. But we still had our Red Dead 2 reflexes here. And I don't think I ever really figured out how to fight in this game. I mean, hand to hand.
Tell me where. We play. Do not let him off yet. Come to a. Ain't this fun? Come.
I mean, we do knock him out, but it's more dumb luck on our part.
There it is! Skeptics and dissenters, irrefutable proof. Do not
Oh, actually, O-Dog said, be right back, not bro. I read things too fast, and I'm a little bit dyslexic.
You ain't leaving here alive.
And we shoot the gun out of his hand. Classic Western move.
Come, I have plenty for all.
No harm in trying one bottle, I suppose.
Well, I think that went kind of well, don't you?
I'm just glad.
O-Dog is back.
Either chasing after cattle or murder.
Appreciate you, friend.
Not the likes of you, mister.
Don't be like that.
We never really figured out fight mechanics
Say my goodbyes.
in this game,
On back to the real
so far as I know.
Wait, sir. I've been thinking about your predicament, and I think I may have an idea.
I really like John's look here, and I love how it's the default gunslinger look for John in Red Dead 2.
Where are the Greeks bearing gifts, sir?
Post-game.
Williamson had better beware.
Or rather, epilogue.
Into Trojans.
I don't rightly get.
Epilogue and on.
I want you to go and see my old friend Seth. He can come across as a little curious, but I'm sure you two will get on. He's
Pretty much going to do something similar for Bad Arthur. Except, of course, black shirt. O-Dog says, you're in a shell. We'll eventually get you out of it. I know because I'm in one. Every now and then I have to reach out for something new. Yeah, I know what you mean, O-Dog. I mean, you got me to play Red Dead 1. So that's what we're working on now. And who's over here? That's Jenny from the block. O-Dog says, introverts unite. Yes. Yes, indeed. You will recall Jenny from the train. Here she is. Micah says, hello, I'm late. You're just in time, friend. Just in time to see Jenny, who's gone a little crazy in the desert.
Hello. Hello there.
Howdy, miss. What are you doing out here?
Happy Monday, Micah.
I'm thinking.
Have I seen you before?
Oh, yes, I think so. On the train from Blackwater, perhaps.
Yeah.
Again, I wish we'd done this during the day, just for better lighting. What is she doing here at night? There's a cougar around here.
Oh,
And wolves and,
call me Jenny.
not Del Lobos per se, but bandits.
I'm safe because I have faith. So,
She has no
faith
supplies, no
without-
weapons, no horse.
That's the whole point.
You're trying to move a mountain?
Oh, no, I can't do anything.
But she has her faith. Micah says, did you unlock any new outfits for John? And the answer to your question, Micah, is no. We moved on to actually the outfits were locked once John got to Blackwater. I assume because of the cutscenes. And then we moved on to Jack, and he gets a new outfit. And I can't get him to change outfits. I'd like to put him in John's old outfit, but bring Jenny, help Jenny by bringing her medicine. Yeah, I thought we had medicine, but we don't. And I wish we could just take her home, take her somewhere, take her back to Armadillo. Like that warhorse, he reminds me of Rachel, the seal brown thoroughbred, but I believe all the horses in this game are male. And the reason I say this is because of a cutscene with Seth, with Irish, which I will include. O-Dog may remember the one I'm talking about. It's in Mexico. Micah says, the best scene during the day is probably when you first enter Mexico. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. From the river with Irish. We died a couple times on that. From those guys throwing dynamite fire bottles at us. Spectacular aim. As always. Now, I believe we were trying to buy medicine for Jenny. And exploring Armadillo a bit. It's come a long way in basically 3 years, 4 years.
You're in. This is gonna hurt, sonny boy.
And then why not shoot up the town? And set ourselves on fire. First time that happened, first playthrough, I think I set John on fire. I never set Arthur on fire, but I completely panicked because you can't jump into water. I think I did jump in water and died. It was at Thieves Landing, as I recall. We got hit by a fire bottle. And we couldn't stop, drop, and roll. So I just ran off the dock, fell into the water. Micah says, I learned a lot of new Spanish words from playing this game. Like cabron. We'll get to Mexico soon enough. We still have to build the Gatling gun. Probably on next Sunday we'll be in Mexico. Get to Mexico relatively fast. We have a couple West Dickens missions. We get to meet Seth and Irish. And then we go to Mexico. However, regrettably, I did not enjoy Mexico as much as I thought I would. But it's fun to think that all those locations exist in Red Dead 2, if you could somehow get there.
That big mountain lion down by the river killed another man.
We were looking for medicine.
Out of my way, friend! I didn't see you.
and looking for a fight. There's the horse. And what happened to our horse? All I wanted to do was get medicine for Jenny. I had a soft spot for her. I didn't like leaving her out there in the desert, armed only with her faith. That rabbit's foot comes in handy. It's basically the elk antler trinket. And back to Armadillo we go. Finally, the doctor's office is open. The doctor is in.
It's excellent to see you today.
5 medicines, please.
Stop to them electric belts if you need to lose weight.
Well, 3.
Any trouble, let me know.
That's enough, friend.
Take care of yourself and that liver.
Micah says, I like the campfire stories in Red Dead 1 better than the ones in Red Dead 2. I don't believe I've heard any campfire stories in this game. Campfires where? But I've powered through it. I'm basically doing a speed run. We're just kind of doing the missions. Some of these stranger events. I mean, if they're obvious. Another condor. John hates condors. No one knows why. It is a Red Dead mystery. And they're technically not condors. There are no condors in this game. He's shooting at falcons, but they move like condors. Falcons or hawks, I forget. They move like condors and they bug him. So you can see I'm kind of figuring out horse mechanics now, finally. And here's Jenny. Right where we left her. No worse for wear, but not really that much better. Miss Jenny.
Miss Jenny.
So formal, even in 1911.
Don't look like the
Appreciate
Almighty's
that.
much inclined to help you out here. I was kind of worried about you, so I...
Micah says, I remember the first time I saw a condor in real life. I hope you didn't shoot them.
Save me.
They're endangered, you know. Odog said, I thought there were some.
Only through his will
Condors?
that you ordered to
Well,
save
we're
me.
shooting basically any bird that moves like a condor, but I don't think they are.
In your vision.
Jenny,
Odog says, don't know about Red Dead 1, but thought there were.
You savior. I knew you'd save me.
I'm just shooting them for the channel, for the stream,
Man here, mister.
because it's kind of funny, and it's what John does.
Evan.
This event is a lot like Gavin's friend in terms of it has really no significance. It's just quirky and goes nowhere. At least so far. Micah says, oh no, it was at the LA Zoo. Condors are huge. And I thought we could climb up on one of those rocks. They were trying to figure out an Instagram pose, but without looking threatening. And that's about all I have for you. John and Jenny will take a moment to post for the thumbnail on Instagram. But I haven't updated the Instagram in weeks, I don't think. I should really get back to it. Well, I'll let you get back to it. At any rate, appreciate you being here, friends. Micah, glad you showed up. Shout out to the mods, Odog, David. Great talking to you, Miko. We shall return on Fridays with another Red Dead 1 playthrough. Saturday movie night continues with Commando starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then we move on with Red Dead 1 playthroughs on Sunday and Monday. Everyone have a great week. Odog.